I want to quickly try to share a story with you about this piece right here. I had a friend of mine send me a picture on his telephone one day last week of a broken piece, and this piece said that he found them grading his driveway. And I had him put a tape beside this one. He wanted to know what the value would be. And I used a price guide, and I told him to put a tape beside of it. He sent me another picture, and it was 2 5/8. And I told him if side A looked like side B, or side B looked like side A, that according to the price guide, it'd be valued somewhere around 200 to 325, according to Overstreet, for what I believe to be a Kirk corner notch. And told him if he was interested in selling it to let me know. And he texted me back and said that if I wanted it, he'd take $175 for it. So I wanted to look at it, and I soon made my decision when I looked at it. And you guys that are looking at this, you may be able to recognize the chart. I can't really identify it myself, but I don't believe it's something that is common to my area. In fact, I'm wanting to think it's like a Cobden chart. Not real sure on that, and it doesn't change colors whenever you get it wet. I tried that, so I don't know if you're seeing the colors adequately or not. But anyway, when I seen it, I had reservations about it just real quick on account of that right there. It's just like a tater chip. And not only that, but every point on it is just real sharp. And even the stack right here, it'll grab your skin when you rake across it. I see no dirt or anything under there. And I can actually even see the stalling in that notch right there. Looks to me like. Which I know on some that I've made, on most that I've made, that appears. But back to this piece. I went to look at it, and I told him my honest opinion that, and I may still be wrong. I told him I thought it was modern. That's not to take away from the workmanship of that. That's an awesomely made piece. But I wasn't willing to give $175 for it. And I told him the only other way I'd know if it was real or not, or authentic, would be take a chip out of it, and I wasn't going to do that. It's got extraordinary flaking on it. But anyway, after I talked to him and told him my opinion of it, he actually then told me that it belonged to his wife, and that in fact this was never found in their driveway. He had a broken one that was, but this one wasn't, like he led me to believe over the phone. And that when I mentioned I thought this, if it being Cobden church or something similar thereof, I thought it possibly was native to Ohio, Indiana area. Y'all can correct me on all that if you'd like, but he said, well, that makes sense. He said, actually, my wife acquired it from her grandmother that was native to Indiana. And it was in a shadow box of stuff that she acquired from her grandmother. So he said, go ahead and bring it home. I didn't have any glasses with me, and no magnifying glass, either one. He told me to go ahead and bring it home and check it out. And so I did, and I hadn't seen anything different that would make me believe that it's real than what I seen when I was there. So I still got my money, and I still got the arrowhead, but I just wanting to pass that on to you. You better take a look at it, and if you don't find it, and you don't trust, and you don't know them well enough to know. And the reason I even bid on this is I actually found, if I'm shaking, it's because that I'm outside and it's cold this morning. In a picture, this appeared to be hornstone, and it does have a color of it, but it's got some bandings and things in it that doesn't line up. But anyway, that's the reason I bid on it, because there's actually, if it had been found where he said it was found, it was only found about a quarter mile from the old stomping grounds. And so, there you go. I'll show you this while I got it out. This is one of the most recent that I made. It's made off a piece of scrap material, flakes. Corner notch. I've tried to do this in the sun, but the sun keeps moving on me. That's a cool little piece though. I like it. And then I just thought I'd throw these in there while I had it out. Some of the pieces I've made out of some Flint Ridge and some Nethers and some, I forget the other name of that, Kenny Rock from Texas. Gosh, I'm shaking like a leaf. Let me change hands for a minute. But some of these right here, you've seen, probably all of them you've seen. I thought I'd get them back out while I was fooling with it. It's a real wild colored material right there. And it's made from a Kenny Rock. Of course, that's Flint Ridge. That is. This is a piece of Burlington. It's a pretty piece. It's cold this morning. It's a pretty colored piece. Good looking pine tree made of it. I like this one with the green in it. And I really like this Scotch Bluff type. It's a real colorful piece of rock. It's translucent. It's actually made out of some Nethers. Capina. Made out of Kenny Rock. This is a cool piece. Anyway, that's a few that I've made last year, primarily. I really like this Dalton right here. It's translucent as it can be. Pretty quartz vein through it. I'm getting off here. I'm about to freeze. So I made this just to let you know, not everything that glitters is gold. I even told him, I said, you know, those Indians, they didn't make very much. Not to say they didn't, but I don't, in my opinion, they didn't make very much. That they just wanted to sit around and look at and gawk over and be made to be proud over. But they made things to use and to survive by. And I said, you know, how long you think that'd last if they made it to use? And he agreed. Of course, he don't know anything about them, and I don't declare to know a whole lot about them. But I have got the you know, the advantage of having made them myself. That I do feel like I've got some insight over some that don't know anything about making them, to know what to look for when trying to determine, because not everybody's like Paleo Man 52 that puts his name on them. And that ain't to say they're crooked, that ain't what I'm saying. But it does sometimes, you know, they can and they will get in people's hands, you know, and they pass from one person to the next, and before you know it, you know, somebody's been taken for a big amount of money, which I think they're overpriced anyway, don't get me wrong. But somebody's been taken for a big amount of money, you know, thinking they're buying something authentic, when perhaps, you know, they're not acquiring anything valuable to the extent that the authentic ones are compared to the modern ones. So anyway, I appreciate y'all guys looking, and I'll get this up. Didn't mean for it to last as long as it did, but ain't much going on today, and cold, and I'm staying in. I'll show you this one Dalton. I like it. That's made of a Kenny rock right there. Stuff flakes real well. Because I love the Daltons anyway. It's odd how you like things that you typically don't find, and I don't find them. But they're probably my favorite point style. Alright. Y'all take care. Appreciate all your comments on my recent videos. Later.